Chayan. He is a professor at Bangladesh Agriculture University in the Department of Farm Power and Machinery and holds a master's degree from University of Netherlands and PhD from University of Saha. Saha has also been involved in a lot of research
What's up your mic? The mic is off.
It is on.
This is not working.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me that after 40 years.
Okay. Distinguished chair and audience, welcome to my presentation. Actually, we are working in a team at Bangladesh Agriculture University. Professor Manjul Alam is sitting here. He is the team lead on this intervention. And I will talk about on-farm grain storage solution for smallholders in Bangladesh. Just some saline feature, you can see that Bangladesh is now 4th largest rice producer, 3rd largest vegetable and inland water fish producer, and 5th largest fish producer in the world. Since independence, production of paddy increased over threefold. Beside our actually the land limitation and it's really we are now in the self-sufficient in the cereal, especially in the paddy production. But we have some challenges. What challenge do we have? That our land is decreasing by 0.5% every year. And on-farm labor employment is also about 43% now, but it's expected to be reduced about 36% in 2020 and 20% by 2030. That means we will have huge labor shortage in coming days. And there is a potential yield gap and on-farm production between the research and on-farm production. And post-harvest loss paddy at farm level, what we have estimated is about 14%, while drying and storage loss is 3.5 and 6.2%. So we have to overcome these challenges, and one of the options would be to reduce post-harvest loss. And we are very fortunate to have Feed the Future initiative of Postharvest loss reduction innovation lab based in Kansas State University, and also ADM Institute for Reduction of Post-Harvest Loss at University of Urbana-Champaign. So we are working together to combat this issue and find some solutions. So this is some of the results that I will present. And one of the major objectives of the initiative is to identify and scale up appropriate storage technology for smallholder farmers and build capacity about the safe storage of paddy for farmers, especially men and women both, to reduce post-harvest loss and improve grain quality. You see, in the first phase of our post-harvest loss innovation lab project, we tried to identify what are the traditional storage technologies that have been used by the farmers. As you see, some of the technology here, the gold, peyote, bola, vodka, plastic drum, plastic bag, they are using in their farmhouse to keep their produce. Of course, beside that, we tried to find out what would be the other alternative options. So we came up with to test the Grain Pro and Pigs bag. We have found some results, as you see, that insect infestation of traditional dole and vodka is quite high. In out of 250 grams of paddy, you can find 131 insects in the storage system. And these are the insects you can see: rice moth, rice weevil, floor beetles, etc. you can find here. But in the hermetically sealed bag, we don't find any insects inside the grain or pigs bag. Also, if we look at the storage loss is around 6.2%. Around 6% you can see, but with the hermetically sealed bag, almost there is nothing. So that means we can really save the losses, and that can contribute to the total national food demand in the Bangladesh. What is the reason behind the reducing this post-harvest loss? We have tested. We have found that CO2 has been increased over the time while oxygen is reduced, and that helps to kill the insects or larvae staying in the grain pro bag. So it's quite fascinating to see without injecting, fumigating CO2, we can really have the hermetically sealed storage technology. Also, we have looked at the germination quality. Even after 9 months, we can see the germination remain 90%, whereas the acceptable limit in Bangladesh is 80%. So that is also really good for us and for Bangladesh government to look at this issue. So in the first phase, we work with the farmers and we see it really works well in the farmers field. Of course, we have the policy issue to use for the grain, but for the seed, there is no problem. So that's something that we need to work together in future. Then we talked with the BADC, it's a Bangladesh Agriculture Development Corporation, which is under Ministry of Agriculture, who are actually supplying more than 40% of seed to the farmers. So we are really glad that they have joined us at the initiative. And phase 2, actually, we are now doing some of the experiments with the hermetic bags in their storage facility, seed storage facility, that see and show them that how it works in their facility and to build their confidence whether really it works in their storage facility. So that this is actually that's something which will be really have quite good impact for our nations if we can really introduce very best practices in their warehouses. Of course, in the next year we will work with the cocoon also in that storage facility, see which one is the good for their storage. One thing just to mention, to keep what actually Dr. Mahmood said, that to keep their storage safe, they need to do the fumigation, spray insecticides, also do redrying. It all costs money and time. So if we can really keep those produce in the or seed in the hermetically sealed bag, we can really save those intervention. One initiative also we are currently running with the help of IFPRI and ADM Institute of Prevention of Postharvest Loss. We are looking at the off-farms hermetic storage bag. That what I say that with the cocoon. So how it works at the miller level. So this is something that we wanted to show that we have started to thinking and see whether really it can benefit our millers as well as in near future the big farmers. Of course, the price is one of the issue of the hermetic bag or the cocoon that we need to work together how to reduce this price. But for the first sale, we can see that it's really helping our millers. Even they don't need any shade for keeping the produce. So we'll come up with more data that we can share next time. And we, to engage farmers, we have given several training in first phase. Also in the phase 2, we are giving also training to our farmer about this technology. Beside the dryer, that also the precursor of storing the paddy. So that's something that we have developed, the PUSTR dryer, which is really helping farmers to dry their produce in bad weather. So, and the things is actually we want to motivate our farmer, and we can see already the motivation from the farmer side. So we need to work more on the policy side to incorporate in the government policy with the hermetically sealed bag. Some of the success story you can see the Khodeja Begun is living in Fulpur district and he is using a hermetically sealed bag and he's happy with the bag and he is now doing business with the hermetic bag. And some other women farmers also following her in that village. So he's producing money out of that. This is also Nikhil Vishwas, you can see he's living in Jashore area and he's really quick learner and technology adapter in this area and he's a model farmer now in Jashore area and he's selling seed in that area. Also Taimur Rahman, he's a village doctor who follows, actually people follows doctor and teacher. So it's a kind of good thing that Taimur Rahman is also adapting this technology there. So this is some of the success story that I am sharing with you. There are many success stories that we can share, but the good thing that we are working together. So USA is there, India is here, and Bangladesh we are working, and government side is also there is a good initiative. So if we really work together, so hopefully we can really come up with a good solution for the benefit of the farmers. And that's all, and thank you very much, USAID, ADC and others.
Move on to Dr. Pallavi Club, who has great footprints in Bihar, it seems. PhD was Mandeshwari taught in Bihar. PhD from University of Illinois, exactly on this topic.